What's up, everyone? Today we're making
左宗棠雞
General Tso's chicken. My name is Randy, and I'm a second-generation Chinese American on a mission to share and preserve my parents' recipes and stories, one meal at a time. My dad's been a Chinese chef for over 50 years, and today he'll be showing us his recipe for General Tso's chicken.
各位朋友，大家好！我哋今日咧同大家介紹一個左宗棠雞。呢個菜咧就喺美國大大小小嘅中國餐館都會有呢個餸噶啦。而家咧介紹下呢個菜嘅做法嚇。首先咧，我哋切雞肉。通常咧，好多人用啲雞髀肉做咧，我哋健康啲用雞胸肉做嚇。呢度咧係10個安士咁上下嘅雞胸肉啊。首先切咗雞肉先嚇。
If you're not familiar with General Tso's chicken, it's an extremely popular menu item in Chinese American restaurants, but fairly unheard of in mainland China. The original recipe was invented by renowned chef Pang Zhengguai in Taiwan in the 1960s, who named it General Tso's chicken as an homage to his Hunanese heritage and the beloved general左宗棠. When done properly, General Tso's chicken is an incredibly delicious dish that's crispy on the outside and tender on the inside. Chef Pang's original recipe is more in line with the intense spices, tanginess, and savory flavors of Hunanese cuisine. And in America, Chinese chefs added sugar to the recipe to appeal to a more Western customer base. We'll talk about this more later, but there's a really poignant documentary called The Search for General Tso that explains not only the origins of how this iconic dish became its own billion-dollar industry, but the struggles of Chinese immigrants fighting to survive and thrive in America.
好啦，雞肉就切好啦。我哋首先醃咗啲雞肉先嚇。
We'll add our chicken to a bowl as well as a half teaspoon of salt, half of an egg, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, and a half tablespoon of water. We'll be saving the other half of the egg for later. If you're looking for a written version of this recipe, check out our blog post at madewithlau.com, where you'll find an adjustable list of ingredients and step-by-step videos to guide you as you make the recipe at home.
好啦，我哋而家將啲雞肉同啲味料撈勻佢嚇，撈耐啲都唔緊要嘅，攣下佢撈下佢。 好啦，雞肉咧就醃好啦，擺喺度10分鐘咁上下啦。嗱，而家咧先較多個炸嗰個粉先嗬。
To a different bowl, we'll add 3 tablespoons of flour, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, the remaining half of the egg, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and about 4 tablespoons of water to start. We might need to add more water as we mix.
我哋攪開佢之後咧，如果咁樣咧就唔夠水噶啦。 咁就唔夠，又要俾多啲水落去先夠啦，俾多一個湯匙落去。
How do you make it crispier?
呢兩樣粉，生粉同埋麵粉，完全麵粉又唔得，又軟得滯；完全係生粉咧又硬得滯。3比1，3麵粉1嘅生粉。
We'll also add 1 tablespoon of olive oil, which helps the chicken turn out more shiny and helps to prevent the batter from clumping together. 最尾先加啲油落，攪開咗啲粉先，等佢冇一粒粒。咁樣嘅情形咧，仲係結得少少㗎，俾多半個湯匙落去。嗱，咁樣就好啦，咁就啱啦。睇啦，好啦，你用咧蒜頭。 Next, we'll be mincing 2 garlic cloves, a few slices of ginger, and about 1 to 2 ounces, or about a third of a red bell pepper. 姜呢？姜蓉。 紅辣椒，係1個安士咁上下啦，曬半個唔使好多。A lot of Chinese American restaurants tend to garnish General Tso's chicken with a ring of a few pieces of broccoli and sometimes pieces of sliced tomato. So feel free to chop and prepare some if you'd like. 嘢就切好晒啦，開始燒油啦。我哋而家咧倒啲油落去啦。呢隻咧係粟米油嚟嘅，炸嘢一定係唔好用橄欖油嚟炸，因為燒得好熱啲油。 嚿油咧，已經睇到浸得過嚿雞肉就得啦。嚿雞肉唔係好大嚿啫嘛。 Like my dad mentioned, you should generally avoid olive oil for anything that involves higher heat. This is because olive oil has what's called a lower smoke point, which is the temperature at which the oil stops shimmering or rippling and starts smoking or burning. Smoking oil isn't always a problem, and sometimes it's even desired for getting that perfect wok hei in your stir fry, but it's a sign that the oil is breaking down, which can release burnt or bitter flavors or even harmful free radicals. Here's a chart that highlights the smoke points of a few of the most common cooking oils. There are a few other factors that go into selecting oils, like whether they're neutral or flavored, or refined or unrefined. Most cooking oil is created by extracting and compressing seeds and nuts, and oils that are unrefined, raw, or virgin are usually bottled almost immediately. They generally have more nutrients but a lower smoke point and shorter shelf life. Refined oils go through more processing for a higher smoke point, longer shelf life, and a more neutral flavor. It's not totally true that you should avoid olive oil, since you can buy either refined or unrefined varieties. But for simplicity's sake, for frying, you generally want to use neutral, refined oils like vegetable oil, refined olive oil, or corn oil.
我哋最猛火嘅時候睇下啲油夠唔夠熱，好容易嘅啫。你將嗰啲粉滴一滴落去，如果佢浮起咧，即刻浮起咧，就即係話證明嗰啲油就已經夠熱啦。你睇下，嗱。而家仲未好熱，嗱，睇下浮起上係嘛？仲再煮一煮先夠熱，太慢咁先至浮起，咪未夠熱咯，係嘛？仲有一樣嘢咧，你可以知道夠唔夠熱嘅，俾啲咁多有水嘅嘢落去，嗱，睇到嘛？仲未幾夠熱，再燒一燒先得，你睇到嘅啫，係咪？要睇下你個油有幾多，油多啲咪燒耐啲咯。
Here's an example of what it should look like when the oil is hot enough. My dad also said that if the batter instantly turns golden brown, then the oil is too hot. My dad will be explaining this later, but we'll be frying our chicken twice. For the first fry, we're looking to heat our oil to around 300 degrees Fahrenheit, and then 350 to 400 degrees Fahrenheit for the second frying. Another easy way to monitor the temperature is to get an instant read thermometer, which allows you to set a temperature probe in the oil and know exactly what temperature it's at. I've included links to some of our favorite options in our description and on our blog post.
同埋你呢個睇下你個拋畫有幾大，呢個爐嘅拋畫有幾大，係用嗰啲 gas 爐咧，嗱聲佢就好快脆快啲。但係我哋呢個爐咧就係慢慢先至夠，就會慢少少噶啦，唔緊要咯，慢啲咯，嚇。
As our oil heats up, we'll prepare our all-important sauce by mixing 2 tablespoons of light soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of dark soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of vinegar, 1 tablespoon of ketchup, and a half teaspoon of white pepper. After our chicken is done frying, we'll also be cooking the sauce with 4 dried chili peppers, our garlic, as well as 1 teaspoon of cornstarch, 2 tablespoons of water, and 1 teaspoon of sesame oil.
呢個sauce擺喺邊度都得。煮咩都得，我去到撩兩時之前咧冇人識，嚟美國冇幾耐，我哋識搞呢個sauce啦，將佢攪勻咗佢，攪勻晒佢。嗱，我哋而家試下佢啱唔啱味先嗬。如果唔啱咧，開始加開減嘅。OK 啦 ，OK 啦，好。炸好晒先至用呢個sauce嚟嘅嚇，我哋而家開始俾嗰啲炸粉落嚟撈勻佢啦嚇，呢啲雞頭先醃咗噶啦，而家咧落嗰啲頭先較好啲炸粉，而家夠熱啦，嗱一跌落去擺落去佢就已經浮起咗啦，好啦，我哋而家咧一嚿一嚿咁雞肉夾佢落去嚇。
點解你唔一咁倒晒？
咁咪黐埋咯，一下倒落去咪黐埋咯。如果你一下倒晒落去，佢就黐埋晒啦。咁你要慢慢就整開佢啦。炸到個金黃色咧，黃色已經落晒啦。嗱，我哋而家整散嘅嗬，你要擺落去，佢炸到佢啲入邊嗰啲雞肉有啲水分出嚟，佢先響噶嘛。啲聲就係嗰啲水。啲水分炸得有10分鐘咁上下先得嘅，佢炸到佢轉黃色，轉咗黃色咁就得啦。
嗰個 pan 唔好咁淺嗬，係咪？
咩太淺啲油咪震出嚟咯。
Our pan maybe 4 inch deep
有3寸都得，斜斜地好啲。其實炸嘢嘅直個都唔緊要嘅，唔使一定鑊嘅。
But
淨係炸嘢平底都唔緊要嘅。
yeah, a little bit, not complete fat.
Yeah. Use less oil if it's that way too.
Yeah.
While we wait for our chicken to cook, I wanted to make a special shout out to thank our wonderful Patreon supporters for helping bring this video to life.
你中意食炸嘢嘅仔，中意食仔啊！我已經整啲炸蝦俾你食。開好橫掂，開咗個油鑊啦，係咪？已經開咗個油鑊，咪蒸啲嘢俾你食下咯，蒸啲嘢俾你阿 Cat 同 Cat 食啦。好啦，就你而家嗱開始轉啲金黃色噶啦嚇，我哋而家留起佢先嚇，留起佢再啱啱再翻轉頭再炸一炸，哇，幾靚嚇！
Oh my god.
嚇靚嘛？
After transferring the chicken out, we'll need to let the oil heat up again, this time to 350 to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, before dumping the chicken back in. On our setup, this took about 2 minutes.
我哋再倒翻佢落去炸過佢，咁樣嘅咧就靚啦啲肉啦，佢嘅皮會脆啲嘅，你知嘛？嗱，而家摸落佢腍噶嘛，但係如果我再翻炸過嘅時候咧，啲皮咧表現會硬身啲，收翻硬身嘅嚇。等陣間就得啦，再翻佢就好靚啦。平時喺餐館咧，佢唔係就一個個炸，我一炸好多喺度嘛，就一個 order。如果有人出餐啦，咁咪擺落個油爐翻炸咯，炸定喺度噶啦。有人 order 啦，就攞一個 order 翻去個油爐再炸，係咁樣噶嘛，知道嘛？不管檸檬雞又好，咕嚕肉，嗰啲酸收泡啊，個個都係咁樣。嗱，而家我咧就倒翻個落去再炸過啦，翻炸啦嚇，係睇到啊？呢次咧唔使炸好耐㗎，呢次炸1分2分鐘就得㗎啦。嗱，少少一陣間得㗎啦，得啦。
Wow.
咦？好咩啊？靚唔靚？
好嚇，
梗係嚇啦，咁我炸好，係嘛？好，我哋整埋個sauce先啊。
The last step is to create the sauce. We'll scoop some of the frying oil into a new pan. Let the pan heat up for 1 to 2 minutes until the oil is shimmering or forming ripples. And then we'll cook 4 dried chili peppers for about 10 to 15 seconds.
乾啲香味咧，乾先至香啊嘛。
Then we'll add the minced garlic and ginger. Stir and cook for 20 to 30 seconds to release the aromas and flavors. Next, we'll pour our sauce mix from earlier and stir around for another 20 to 30 seconds.
正。
Then we'll thicken the sauce with the cornstarch slurry made of 1 teaspoon of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of water. Stir for 20 to 30 seconds, then add the bell peppers and 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, and stir and cook for another 30 seconds. You can adjust the thickness of the sauce to your liking by adding either more cornstarch or more water.
好，搞掂，倒落去嚇，睇下，哇！
Wow.
好啦，煮好啦，上碟。OK， 再俾上去，搭翻個邊上去。左宗棠雞，搞掂啦，食得。
Before we sit down to eat, I wanted to reflect on watching The Search for General Tso, which does a beautiful job telling the stories and struggles of Chinese immigrants fighting to survive in America. And it also stirs a lot of thoughts on what it means for Chinese food to be authentic. In a nutshell, Chinese immigrants, mostly from Guangdong, flocked to California during the gold rush in the 1850s. Work was extremely limited, low paying, and restaurants were often the only opportunity that Chinese immigrants had to make a living. Right from the start, and even to this day to a degree, Chinese Americans struggled because we were viewed as aliens and second-class citizens. It used to be legal and even encouraged to commit violence against Chinese people, and it was pretty common for Chinese restaurants to be blown up, burned down, and for entire Chinese communities to be completely driven out of town, like in Monterey, California, for example. So it's against this backdrop that Chinese people were forced to find a way to be accepted by white Americans. This was the hostile environment where Chinese food had to evolve to be more relatable and palatable to a non-Chinese audience, and why dishes like General Tso's chicken or chop suey are practically unheard of in China, but they were staples of Chinese American restaurants. I think Chinese American dishes like this sometimes get hate because they're not real Chinese food, but I don't think they're any less authentic than mainland Chinese cuisine. I think on the contrary, it speaks to how innovative and resilient Chinese immigrants had to be able to call a foreign land their home. While it is true that there are customs and core ingredients that tend to define traditional Chinese cuisine, if you look closely, the culinary practices in China were and are still constantly evolving and draw from many different parts of the world. I think something that is clearly fake and inauthentic would be like someone slapping a Louis Vuitton logo on a bag and trying to sell it to you. But unlike Louis Vuitton, no single person or company gets to define what real Chinese food is and isn't. If your first experience of Chinese food was in a small Chinese restaurant in the Midwest, sure, it might taste drastically different from something you'd get in Sichuan or Guangzhou, but in my opinion, it doesn't make your own personal experience any less authentic or real just because you didn't eat that meal in China. I think what is authentic and real is the fact that you enjoyed your meal, that you maybe had a great conversation with your family, that the people serving you put their hearts into making it for you, and that everyone was able to provide for the people that they love. To me, that is a completely genuine experience, and it's certainly not our place to gatekeep Chinese cuisine and judge what's authentic or not. All that being said, these are just my opinions, and I'd love to get your thoughts as well. Feel free to leave a comment on how you might relate or even disagree with this and what authentic cuisine means to you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
Hi!
Oh my god.
Looks amazing. All right, ready.
Alright.
Serve it up.
Okay,
Serve it up.
okay.
We're ready. We're ready.
We're
We're ready.
ready.
Yeah.
Cheers!
Cheers! Cheers, Amy!
Alright, in my mouth.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Like crunch.
Wow, tastes so good. This dish is really famous in the Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
They taste a little sweet, sour,
Daddy.
a little spicy. If you have a kid at home, you made this dish, I think it will be cool. Just so good.
Yeah.
The taste is so good.
And let's try the shrimp.
The ketchup.
你
You want some more? You want more?
中國你有冇試過呢個？
冇，
喺邊度學啊？
美國咯，
喺餐館啊？
美國間間餐館都有嘅，呢個佐敦街
佢係咪好出名嘅？咩啊？
Make it baby.
應該喺中國大陸就唔係好出名，唔算出名。其實喺湖南都唔係話好都流行呢個菜喺湖南，不過就喺美國流行啦，美國開名啦。
喺你以前嘅餐館咧，係咪嗰啲人？
都幾多人食嘅，但係好多餐館唔一定係叫做左宗街，好多叫做湖南街。
點解要炸兩次啊？
炸第一次咧，佢啲入邊啲肉嗰啲汁咧發晒喺啲粉面上啦嘛。如果你再等佢質陣，再燒翻，即係留起佢，等啲油再燒再熱，咁再倒翻落去，再翻炸啦，係咪？咁收翻嗰啲水分咧。
So when you do second time, that time will be made the chicken become very crunch because all the juice is already stay in the first layer. The first layer.
That's the secret.
That's the secret.
That's the secret. Yeah.
So 咩肉啲可以咁樣炸？
炸魚又得，炸蝦又得，炸乜都得㗎。
咁你以前喺中國有冇炸魚食啊？
好少。中國冇咁多油炸嘅啫。
When we was in China, we have a really much less cooking oil.
Was it really expensive?
China 冇咁多油食㗎嗰時啊，邊度有咁多油炸嘢㗎？
Also, we probably only have a half pound oil monthly. Like provide with the government, use a little coupon to buy.
你知唔知我嗰時食啲油喺邊度嚟㗎？喺香港寄翻嚟嘅，寄翻去 China， 寄翻去我度嘅。你阿 grandma 同佢姑喺香港寄翻嚟俾我哋食，香港寄翻嚟嘅。
Wow.
Another time when we have a pork, right?
Oh,
Pork
yeah.
have a lot of fat.
Yeah.
So we save the fat.
Yeah.
We fry the fat. We'll produce a lot of oil. So we use that for cooking.
買啲肥豬肉翻嚟炸啲油出嚟食嘅，你知道嘛？
So all the pig, the fat part,
Yeah.
we deep fry,
Yeah.
and then after deep fry, will become oil. Yeah.
Did you reuse the oil? Like, say if you like for this dish, use it and then you store it and use it again. How
For
do you-
vegetable oil, yes.
When you had that, how did you know when the oil's no good anymore?
屋企炸過1、2次都唔怕，好似唔使掉嘅。我炸過嘢啲油，嗱
Yeah.
先，我喺個鑊度倒出嚟，仲呢個隔咗呢個。
After you deep fry,
Yeah. It
you
has maybe
drain
pieces,
because there's a lot of like a crumb
Yeah.
or
有
piece
肉細
inside.
位。
So we use this one to drain
Yeah.
over, so become more pure.
Yeah, smart.
仲好香添啊！用我哋煮嘢好香啲。
Like a
你聞下，
Hot.
聞下幾香？
Smell good?
香
Oh yeah. See, look, 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 look.
好香啊嘛！聞嗰啲油好香啊嘛！炸過嘢
咁你幾時會掉啊
唔會掉嘅呢啲。
唔會掉嘅，我唔會掉嘅，我哋煮晒煮嘢。
？Why not olive oil？
橄欖油唔可以用嗰啲高溫嘅，
It's not good for deep
咩
fry.
油都得，但係唔好俾橄欖油製嘅。花生油又好，咩橄欖咩油都好。唔得啊！唔得咁樣油製嘢嘅，唔得啊！
Yeah.
唔得咁
Hear
樣
that,
油
Cam?
製
Life
嘢嘅。
advice from Grandpa.
唔得俾咁樣油炸嘢㗎，
What did he say?
You can't use olive oil.
唔得咁樣油炸嘢㗎。
Hello, all the fans. Nice to talk to all the fans today. Today, Daddy Lau cooked the 左宗棠雞. It's really delicious. I believe all our fans will make the delicious 左宗棠雞 and leave a comment if you have any question. And thank you for watching. Give us a like, share, subscribe our video. You have a wonderful day. Can say, see you next time.
介紹啊，真係介紹嘅，呢係笑。
See ya.